so Soft Machine, who are out on the fringe.
Even within the Soft Machine, there are sort of completely different points. There are sort of Mike has more or less gone over to completely formal and written music now, and Robert is sort of more a rock and roll drummer, or well, that's what he likes to call himself anyway. And he's more interested in sort of traditional forms of pop music. And I should say that myself, I'm more interested in purely recorded and abstract and electronic sounds.
I got involved with trad jazz when I was about 17, and my musical evolution has gone through all the jazz phases and stages. Much broader now, my musical taste, covering the contemporary scene, as it were. I joined the Soft Machine when it was doing its, own music, in fact, and so my experience was limited to playing kind of classical music with, with other people, and also a kind of limited amount of playing with Robert and David in a kind of vaguely avant-garde jazz context.
I don't know many musicians who haven't heard sort of Stockhausen or Fairbairn or Charlie Parker or Beatles or Otis Redding, Most of the people I know, whatever field they're in of those, reckon that it's essential equipment, for a modern musician to know about all these people to a certain extent. I think that's new.
Over the years, there's been a development away from the single-oriented group, a group that's oriented around a single person, and it usually has its material provided by an arranger and session musicians, etc., into a field where a whole group is producing the music, not in any fascist form, but in a kind of loose democracy, where each person is able to make suggestions, develop, their own ideas as well as the ideas of the group. So what comes out is a corporate sound that isn't dependent on any one person. It's dependent on the ideas of four people playing together the only way they can play together.
I'd like to think it was quite hard work, really, listening to the Soft Machine, because it's certainly been quite hard work getting into all the things that have interested me. I found it quite hard work listening to Charlie Parker, and also rewarding. I'm not saying, all the things I'm not saying about that, but yeah, I think it's probably quite hard work. Well, there'll always be a market for sort of relatively unimportant light entertainment, but I think that what we now call pop music or rock or whatever is the world of rock is now populated largely by people who, at other times, would have been the writers, philosophers, musicians, painters of the day. In other words, I know it sounds, everyone laughs because this kind of remark sounds pretentious, but I really think it's true to say that it's an idiom which really matters, which is being used by some of the, the most interesting creative people around, I really do. And but there's constant attempts, even within the industry, it's as much as anywhere else, people who like to remember it as something which wasn't very demanding and keep trying to put down new groups or kids who take it too seriously. I think making a big mistake and underestimating just how much the kids are getting from rock music and are putting into it. People get involved in the fact that they can now wiggle their little fingers and so spend hours on bass wiggling their little finger because they've now developed the muscles on that and they really want everyone to know it, even if it doesn't. And they lose sight of the original idea, which is the creation of a melody line with a nice sound and a nice harmonic pattern or whatever it is that they're after. So I think that it tends to be singers who pull music back together to what it's about.